Hey everyone, so it turns out that karma is a bitch, and I'm sorry if I'm making this video looking very agitated, but I was just almost hit by a car just earlier today, and heart's still pounding from it, and what had happened was I was walking across the street in Bellevue, and a walk signal was on, there was a green light, and I see a car about to turn left. And I've walked there hundreds of times, and I looked at the driver. This was it was it's a cloudy day, but it was not invisible or anything. And she looked at me, and I thought everything's good, and she wasn't going very fast. So I get to the middle of the crosswalk, and I see, oh my God, she's speeding up, and I start running like crazy. You see, the funny thing is, she didn't honk her horn. She didn't slow down. She didn't speed up or anything. She was just driving as normal. And I finally passed her, and I tried to gesture to her, but she didn't see anything. I bet she didn't even know she had a near miss today. I kind of looked at her while this was going on, and I bet she was daydreaming. And earlier this year, I had caused an accident from daydreaming. I totaled my own car. I totaled the van that I had hit, and fortunately, nobody was injured. But what had happened was I was living in my car at the time, and a lot going on in my mind. Just day to day, I have a lot going on in my mind when I'm living in my car. Where am I going to park tonight to sleep? Where am I going to catch Wi-Fi? Uh, how am I going to socialize? I was socializing during that whole time, believe it or not. Just what am I going to eat today? A lot goes through your mind when you live in your car, and that certainly didn't help in terms of the accident. Some other things that might have contributed to the accident was that, well, obviously, in the long term, I want to get out of the situation of living in the car, so that was probably on my mind as well. So there were short-term needs, like where I was going to sleep, and then the long-term needs of wanting to get out of there. And then I have random thoughts, too. So what really, the last straw was when I was that day when I was driving, I was thinking about what's going to happen to my computer games when I die. And I have a big passion for computer games. I would hate to see it just all die out when I do die. And, one of my idols is Mary Curry because she ended up marrying another scientist, and they had a few children who were scientists as well. So I started to think I gotta marry somebody who knows a little bit about computer science, and we should have some children and who also want to study computer science. And it made me think about my ex-girlfriend because she wanted children, and I was daydreaming about us having two children. They were maybe 5 years old at the time, and I was teaching them computer games. And it was just at that moment when I noticed that traffic in front of us had slowed down, and I made an abrupt lane change to avoid all that, and kaboom. And to add insult to injury, I got a traffic ticket for that as well. And it's kind of funny because when I went to court over the traffic ticket, I got the court fee waived, and I got the fine turned into community service. And you can only do that if you have less than a certain amount in assets. And when I got my severance check, I held on to it without putting it into the bank so that it would look like I didn't have much money. And of course, I have a huge coin collection as well, so it looked like I had nothing. And so I went to the court. I'm like, I only have like $1,000 in my bank account and no other assets. And as a result, I get community service instead. So it turned out good. But I'm reminded by that, and also the incident today. Never daydream and drive. See, I wish my problem were texting and driving. It's so easy to just put away the phone. Don't even put it in your car. I don't have a texting and driving problem. I don't have a drunk driving problem. I don't even like eating while I'm driving. I have a favorite radio station, so I'm not really changing the station while I'm driving. The one thing I may do when I drive is change the temperature controls, because what I sometimes do is use my car as a sauna machine. You know, especially during the summer, if you turn on the heat really high, you can sweat out of your skin, and it's almost like a sauna machine. And then after I'm done with that, I might turn the heat off and open the windows to air it out a little bit, because you start getting the smell from the sweat, and that's the only real distraction I do in my car. That's my guilty pleasure. I've never had any issues with doing that, though. It's so second nature to me. It's kind of like how some people don't even think about their smoking habit, or you know, it's second nature to me. But actually, that wasn't the only accident I caused while I was daydreaming. When I first got my license 8 years ago, I rear-ended somebody. I was driving on my way home, and I was starting to worry about chores I needed to do at my apartment. Laundry, dishes, you know, and perhaps I was also behind on my homework assignment. I can't remember what it was. I just started to remember things I needed to do when I get home, and in a daze of thinking about that, I rear-ended somebody. It wasn't a lot of damage, but it was still annoying to deal with. What else have I done while daydreaming? Sometimes, even when I'm walking, you know, next thing I know, I hear people honking their horns, and I'm still lost in, you know, who am I going to have children with, or what's going to happen to my computer games when all of a sudden horns start going off. Bad habit. And I got to see firsthand how it happens on the other side of the equation today. Thanks for watching.